Valentine's Day, the year 2000. In the quiet town of Shelby, North Carolina, a 9-year-old girl slipped out of her bed in the middle of the night. It was pouring rain. The winds howled, and the streets were empty. She walked alone, carrying nothing but a book bag, and was spotted by passing motorists on a dark highway. Moments later, she was gone. Her name was Asha Degree, and what happened to her has haunted her family, baffled investigators, and unsettled an entire community for more than 2 decades. This is not a story of neglect, abuse, or a troubled home. Asha wasn't a runaway in the traditional sense. She was a loved, protected, church-going 4th grader. That's what makes her disappearance so terrifying. How could a child from such a stable background vanish without a trace? And why did she leave home on that stormy night in the first place? In this video, we'll retrace Asha's final known movements, explore the unsettling discoveries that followed, and examine the theories, both official and speculative, that surround one of America's most haunting missing child cases. Asha Degree was born on August 5, 1990, to Harold and Aquila Degree. The Degrees were a hardworking family deeply rooted in faith and community. Shelby, North Carolina, was a small town of fewer than 20,000 people. Families knew one another, neighbors greeted each other by name, and crime was relatively low compared to big cities. The Degree household was disciplined, structured, and filled with love. Harold worked nights while Aquila worked during the day, so one parent was always home with Asha and her older brother, O'Brien. The children weren't allowed internet or cell phones, a decision their parents made to protect them from outside influences. They played sports, read books, and attended church regularly. Asha, in particular, was described as shy but determined. She excelled in school, loved reading, and was a standout on her youth basketball team. Her parents instilled strong values in her, and by all accounts, she was a happy, well-adjusted little girl. That's why, on the surface, there was no clear reason for her to leave home voluntarily. And yet, in the early hours of Valentine's Day, that's exactly what she did. The weekend before her disappearance seemed ordinary, but looking back, investigators pieced together subtle details. On Saturday, February 12th, Asha had a basketball game. Her team lost, something that reportedly upset her deeply. Asha was competitive, and according to her mother, she cried after the loss. Still, she eventually brushed it off and returned to her usual cheerful self. The following day, Sunday, February 13th, the family attended church. Later that evening, Asha and her brother exchanged Valentine's Day gifts. Asha received candy and a teddy bear. The kids went to bed around 8:30 p.m. Outside, the weather was turning. A storm system brought heavy rain and winds to the area. Around 12:30 a.m., a car accident knocked out power in the neighborhood, plunging the Degree home into darkness for a short while. At 2:30 a.m., Harold returned from his shift and checked on the children. Both were sound asleep. Nothing seemed unusual, but within an hour and a half, everything changed. Sometime between 3 o'clock and 4 a.m., Asha quietly got up from bed, dressed herself, and slipped out of the house. She took her book bag with her, which was later found to contain personal belongings. Around 3:45 a.m., multiple motorists driving along Highway 18 spotted a young girl walking alone in the pouring rain. One truck driver described her as carrying a small backpack and wearing light-colored clothing. Another driver grew concerned and circled back to check on her. But by the time he turned around, the girl had vanished into the darkness. When morning came, Aquila went to wake her children. To her horror, Asha's bed was empty. She searched the house, then the yard, then called Harold at work. Panic set in. At 6:30 a.m., they contacted the police. By mid-morning, officers, neighbors, and search dogs were combing the area. Volunteers scoured ditches, fields, and wooded paths near the highway. Helicopters circled overhead, but the heavy rain from the night before had washed away scent trails, leaving the dogs with nothing to follow. The first 48 hours, the most critical in missing child cases, produced no significant leads. News of Asha's disappearance spread quickly. Shelby was a small town, and the idea that a child could vanish so suddenly was shocking. Churches held prayer vigils. Flyers with Asha's smiling face appeared on storefronts, telephone poles, and community boards. Volunteers searched side roads, creeks, and abandoned buildings. Her parents gave emotional interviews, pleading for her safe return. "She's our Valentine," her mother said. "We just want her home." The FBI soon joined the investigation, classifying it as a possible abduction. But without clear evidence, the case remained frustratingly open-ended. For over a year, the case seemed frozen. No suspects, no clear evidence, no direction. Then, in August 2001, more than 30 miles north of Shelby, a construction crew uncovered something chilling while digging a site in Burke County. Inside the dirt, wrapped in 2 plastic bags, was Asha's book bag. It contained her personal belongings, including school papers, a library book, and clothing. The deliberate way it had been buried inside one bag, then another, suggested someone wanted it hidden. This discovery reignited the investigation. But once again, the trail quickly grew cold. Over the years, tips trickled in. In 2004, a witness came forward claiming he saw Asha getting into a dark green car the morning she disappeared. The vehicle was described as an early 1970s Ford Thunderbird or Lincoln Mark IV. In 2015, the FBI re-examined the case, releasing age-progressed photos of what Asha might look like as a teenager. In 2020, investigators announced they had received credible new leads, though details were not disclosed publicly. Despite these efforts, no arrests have been made. Why did Asha Degree leave her home that night? Several theories persist. 1. She ran away. Some suggest Asha planned her departure, packing her book bag and leaving quietly. But at just 9 years old, with no history of conflict at home, the idea of her running away seems unlikely. 2. She was abducted. The most widely accepted theory is that Asha was abducted after leaving home. Witnesses saw her on the highway, a dangerous place for a child at night. It's possible someone stopped and convinced her to get into a car. 3. She was lured out. Another disturbing theory is that Asha was groomed or tricked by someone she trusted. Investigators have considered whether someone may have contacted her through school or church, persuading her to leave her home voluntarily. Without concrete evidence, each theory remains speculative. But what is undeniable is that a 9-year-old child does not simply vanish on her own. For Harold and Aquila Degree, life has never been the same. Every Valentine's Day is a cruel reminder of their daughter's disappearance. Yet they have remained steadfast in their faith. They continue to believe that one day answers will come. In interviews, Aquila has said, "We're not just looking for closure. We want our daughter back. Dead or alive, we want to know what happened to her." The FBI still offers a reward for information leading to Asha's discovery. Her case remains active, open, and unsolved. The story of Asha Degree is one of the most unsettling mysteries in American true crime. A girl from a loving home, a stormy night, a highway sighting, and then nothing. What drove her to leave? Who, if anyone, was waiting for her? And why, after all these years, do we still not have answers? Until someone comes forward with the truth, Asha's case will remain what it has always been. A haunting reminder that sometimes, the most frightening mysteries begin in the safest of places. If you want to see more stories like this, subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments. What do you think happened to Asha Degree that night?